Welcome. My name is Lashley. You can call me Lady Lashley. I am one of the owners and teachers of Primetime Home Buyers. If you're on this page, that means that you're into investing in alternative real estate and you have watched some of my seminars and you have got some insight on how to get started. All right, so what we're doing is promoting our weekly economic development seminar that we host weekly down in Atlanta at the Evans Park Library. Okay, first and foremost, I want to give a shout out to the Atlanta Fulton County Park District for allowing us to be here weekly on Wednesdays at 2 p.m. Okay, if you would like to see the full broadcast, please go to our sister channel. Secure Your Energy is where we have our promotional events, where we go to our parties. We do some interviews, things like that. But here on this particular page, we focus on getting people ready to invest in alternative real estate. And if you don't know my MO and my objective is to make sure people do their due diligence. We're not here to sell you anything, even though we do got some things to sell. We're not here to scam you. My goal is to make sure that I can help enough people get into the real estate sector as safely as possible. Okay, so today what we're going to do is continue our conversation about biblical principles to success in running a business. So if you don't remember some of the things that we talked about in the last couple of days or weeks, core principles were integrity, doing your due diligence, stewardship, you understanding what that means. Oh, they started mowing the lawn. Let's move over here. Stewardship, meaning look at your business as something not just for you to build generational wealth, but something to be part of building your community up. And last week I talked about understanding why it's important to consider yourself a manager, because when you consider yourself a manager, you take on another perspective instead of I'm the boss, I want things ran my particular way, and then you get a little big-headed and you don't get to see things in a managerial way and start to basically, how can I say, troubleshoot some of the things that's going on, monitoring things. So if you're looking at things like you're basically, how can I say, a manager of your business, it is, can I say, you'll have a more successful mentality than just saying that I'm the boss. So that was last week. This is part of biblical principles of success, because this goes directly with our economic development seminar, okay? We're going to tie it all in. So we talked about integrity, due diligence, stewardship, prioritizing your goal. We talked about debt is of the devil, making sure that you spend your money properly. Last week in the economic development seminar, we went into simply understanding what assets is versus liability and the concept of savings, different ways of savings. And you may think this easy, I know how to save, but no, it's very hard to save. If you don't have a well-rounded plan and you're not ready to buckle down, 9 out of 10, you're not going to be successful. So we were teaching methods of ways that people can start saving. If it was the envelope method, if it was to calculate all your money to particular what you need to spend and keeping that 20%, 10 to save, 10 for your business. That type of, how can I say, focus planning. That's what I talk about. That's what we were talking about, focus planning. So I think a lot of people got something out of that live. If you haven't seen it, please go to our sister channel. And that is important, because once you know how to budget at home, you're going to budget correctly in your business. We start with taking those practices at home and then bringing it into your business. If you know how to spend and pull back at home, you're going to take those same thing and do it in your business. It's going to be easy. So we started with bridging the gap with understanding how to manage your budget at home and writing down what you spend versus what you need to spend, your wants and your needs. They're like, why we have to do that? Because that's the same thing you're going to be doing for your business quarterly. You're going to be doing that every 3 months, especially for taxes. So we're already teaching you the things that you need to be on that path to doing your due diligence and making it easy. So the concepts that I'm teaching you is literally, if you start doing it now, it's going to be very easy. So again, budget and saving, prioritize your saving. These are biblical, yes, these are biblical principles. Waste not, want not. Investing, serving humanity. Okay, remember, giving back, that's what I say. You have to. What you give is what you get. And I know we don't have a lot, but it can start with a little bit. If you give your, how can I say, customers a little bit incentive, a little gift card or a little discount. This is going to pull more people into your business and make them want to spend. So giving a little bit, you get a little bit. And as you guys know, after I do my economic development seminar, we are downtown in Atlanta doing our food giveaway on our sister channel, Miss Grace Levi. Yes, we're doing a lot this year. We're not playing any games. We're showing people what we're doing. We're not just talking about it. We're doing it. We're putting our money to the system and making sure that we're going to tie the best way that we could. So I don't just talk about it. I be about it. So when I throw my little ad list about what we doing, that's what I'm telling you what we doing. But back to the biblical principles. Again, prioritizing goodwill. It's important to give back. Again, another thing that we want to keep in mind is investing in your team, investing in yourself. That's what I'm going to be talking about today, y'all, because you know I'm a little geeky. Please hit the like button. Please hit the like button if I'm giving you some things to think about and motivating you today on this Motivational Wednesday, this hump day. But what I'm saying is investing in your team and investing in yourself, investing in your kids. What is it? Not sneakers, not clothes, not looking nice, but things that are non-tangible, which is things you can put in your brain. Teaching new skills. If you have people who work for you, send them on seminars. Make sure they get certified. If you need to brush up on some stuff, never stop learning. Today we're going to be talking about all of the free things that you can hunt for right on the internet that will help you expand your horizons. Here in Atlanta, the Small Business Administration was my go-to when I first started. I promise you, I went to so many free events, and I was like, I'm going to learn everything that I could until this thing become more repeat for me. This is where you start. So we have some suggestions about that. We're going to talk about that. But that is an asset. And that goes back to our class 1 where, baby, what's in your mind is an asset because you can take that anywhere. Not only the relationships you build, positive relationships. Remember that, because next week we're going to get into accountability just before we start getting into our true business plan. Oh, we got it laid out. This is our 3rd time around in our economic development seminar in Atlanta. I'm sorry, I do apologize. The Fulton County Library District. I'm so grateful for them even partnering with me, giving me a chance. Okay, I had nobody, so they know I'm starting from scratch, and we're the 3rd season in, and it's starting to be amazing. People are popping in, and I said, why not make sure I promote on both my pages? So if you're from Atlanta, get down here. If you're from Atlanta, you can't hit the like button. Stewardship, okay? We talked about that. Encouraging appreciation. You like, huh? How would that help my business? When you have a mentality of appreciation and small things that count, you're going to have more people that want to do things for you. You're going to harbor and harness a better relationship with people. Even if you make a mistake, even if things are not perfect, people would appreciate you if you come with more honor, more humbleness. You see what I'm saying? And these are the things that we have to incorporate in our business practices, not only to make us more receivable, but it also makes you on point. Because remember, one of the first things we have to do is step out of our emotions and literally look at things realistically. And that's what we do here. Even from day one, we was looking at our budget like, oh my God, I only make $2,100. That it hurt it. And our bill was $22. Oh, that type of stuff. How are we going to get to our realistic plans? Do you see what I'm saying? So we have to be honest, wholehearted about stuff. But then, as we say, when you come in with a level of appreciation and gratitude, and you sow that into the foundations of your business, you're going to build core relationships that's going to help you get you to the next level. So long-term success is based on wealth with a purpose. What does that mean? We're not trying to just hit this quarter's goal, or we're not just trying to make a little bit so we could do another flip. We're a flip of the clothes or whatever you're doing. You know what I'm talking about. You want to set a nice, lucrative goal that's realistic and try to crush it. Your goal is wealth with a purpose, a strategic purpose. Try to look more for the long-term goal, the 6-month goal. Okay, so before I take this money and do, like, okay, for instance, if you sell clothes, before I do 100 shirt flip, I'm going to do 25 shirt flips of different designs. And by the time I have to do the 100 flip, I already have an audience of people who liked it when I dropped the 25 shirts. So now it's a possibility I can sell 100 shirts at one point. Does that make sense? Instead of saying, okay, I got 50 shirts, 20 shirts I sold today, I'm going to flip, I'll make sure I do 40, 60. You can. But then if you strategically plan and you start to build on what you have already, that next step is going to be a little bit easier to get to. So wealth with a purpose, plan with a purpose, a longer purpose. Does that make sense? It's almost time for me to start our live, because we're going to be getting there. We're going to be doing our economic development seminar. I want to say thank you for tuning in. How you doing, Just Josh? I appreciate you. And today, what we're going to highlight, and this is key to today's teaching, wisdom planning, making decisions based on wisdom and planning for growth, just what I talked about, rather than impulsive. That's exactly what I talk about when you're investing in alternative real estate, like foreclosures, sheriff sales, deed sales, tax lien sales. If you're at that auction and you're dealing in impulse, it's a possibility that you're going to end up not doing well. There's a possibility that you're going to end up trying to spend more than what you have, and you're going to put yourself in a hole. So wisdom and planning, make decisions based on wise planning and growth rather than just your feeling. And last but not least, again, we're going to highlight this: generosity, stewardship. If you have watched my page, you have seen that I have been very generous. We have long seminars here, 45 minutes, that breaks down the full process of you kind of doing your due diligence for tax lien sales, deed sales. Please look at our playlist. We have a lot that is free. Okay, my goal is to make as many middle class or average people be able to get back in the market, because obviously we have no control over what's going on in our market. That's my goal, plain and simple. Because I come from a place where people control their community, not totally the government. I'm from the island where we know that we have to make sure our resources is there just in case the government go rogue. This is what this is why I think the way I do and plan the way I do, because our government has went rogue. Do you see what I'm saying? So what could we do in days and times like this but stay positive and plan ahead of time? Now, I want you guys to know what's coming up. Today we're going to be doing economic development strategies for community leaders that want to understand the challenges that you face, so you can get prepared for that. We're going to talk about skills gap, infrastructure deficiency, health disparities, system barriers. And also we're going to get into also other barriers in detail that we can actually turn into building blocks. So that's what we're going to be talking about today on our economic development seminar. I want to say thank you for those who popped in with us today. If you don't remember, this is some of our biblical principles that we have been going over. We have a lot to share with you guys. I have them up and load and ready. First biblical principle is put God first. God is the boss and you are the manager. Second business, biblical business principle, have integrity. Next biblical principle, do your due diligence. Fourth biblical principle, stewardship is most important. View wealth as a resource to be wisely managed for God's purpose, including providing for family, employees, and giving generosity to your community. Prioritizing God's will is the most important. Seek first God's kingdom, knowledge, and righteousness before making business decisions. Focus on aligning your business with His direction. Service humanity. Lead with a servitude mannerism. Empower your team to be leaders. Lead by example. What you do is what you expect people to do. Treat people how you want to be treated. Invest in your team. Is it knowledge? Is it a little bit of help? Is it just a little bit of time? Listen to your employees. Listen to the people you work with. Empower and listen. Okay? Encourage and appreciate. Encourage and appreciate the things and the resources that you have around you, even if they're small, because that little drop in the water can create a whole tsunami. Long-term goals, make sure to focus on wealth with a purpose, generating profits to provide for others and creating value, not just for yourself, rather than personal benefit. Wisdom in planning. Make decisions based on wisdom for planning for long-term growth, not just for instant gratification. leave your emotions out the door. And lastly, we always want to practice generosity. So with that goes to say, I want to say thank you for being here with Lady Lashley. Again, please check out our playlist. We have a lot of seminars or just break down the information that may be helpful to you as a new real estate investor or someone who's kind of like a novel investor, because I go into understanding law, understanding trust, and how to start up business trust. We have a big playlist. So I please ask you to go check that playlist, hit the like button, and I appreciate you. And if you're in the Atlanta area, please stop by. We're at the Adams Street Library location every Wednesday at 2 p.m. for our economic development seminar. So thank you. We got to get things started.